What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Blue Jays Today. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has been having one of the best seasons that we have ever seen from him. In fact, in his words, he believes that he is the best player in the whole world. That, however, hasn't stopped the Blue Jays from considering making a big move with Vladdy in 2025. In this video, we're going to talk about what that move is and how it could affect the Toronto Blue Jays team, and specifically their offseason plans moving forward. Before we get into it, I encourage you guys to hit the like and smash the subscribe button if you enjoy Blue Jays content and discussion so you don't miss any future videos. Alright folks, let's get into it. So Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has made his intentions of wanting to stay with the Toronto Blue Jays extremely well known. In fact, he recently just reposted this picture on his personal Instagram story where a fan added him and said, "Give this guy an extension already, he bleeds Toronto." So clearly Vladdy wants to stay with the Toronto Blue Jays, but it might not be in the position that you may expect. For roughly 5 years now, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has primarily been a first baseman, and even though the defense has been shoddy at times, he did win a Gold Glove over there in 2022. However, that could all be changing very soon. According to Bob Nightingale, the Blue Jays are exploring the possibility of having Vladimir Guerrero Jr. play third base next season and planning to use him there more frequently in September. Guerrero hasn't been an everyday third baseman in 4 years, but considering there's a deep crop of free agent first basemen this winter led by Pete Alonso and Christian Walker, it will be much easier to fill a hole at first base than third base. Now, before we look at the free agent implications, let's take a look at Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s third base capabilities. Vladdy has appeared in 9 games so far this year at the third base bag, and the results have been, well, not great. In those 9 games, he has a fielding percentage of 92% and has committed 2 errors. To put that in perspective, the league average for fielding percentage at the third base bag is 96.1%, so he is undeniably well below average. To get a bigger sample size of Vladdy at third base, we have to go all the way back to his rookie year in 2019, where he played 96 games at the hot corner. That year, he had a fielding percentage of 93.6%, committed 17 errors, and had an outs above average in the bottom first percentile. So, not very good. Now, we are obviously several years removed from that, but I think that we can all agree, even if Guerrero had an incredible offseason and was just refining his skills at the third base bag for months, he's not automatically going to turn into a stud at third base for next year. So with all that being said, does it even make sense to move him over there? Well, for me, I personally think having him over there would be a bit too much of a liability, and I do think that we'd start to see the negatives of that pretty soon. However, if the Toronto Blue Jays were to go out and sign up Pete Alonso, for instance, that would definitely soften the blow. From a free agent standpoint, there is definitely a lot more talent available at the first base bag than the third base bag, just as Bob Nightingale initially indicated.
Whoa, time for your daily Betway breather. A quick reminder that the best place to bet is on Betway. Must be 19 years of age or older to play. In collaboration with iGaming Ontario, please bet responsibly. Now, back to the content.
Pete Alonso, Paul Goldschmidt, Christian Walker, Josh Bell, and many other notable players are all available at first base, whereas for third base, it's effectively just Alex Bregman or bust. So if the strategy is to move Guerrero to third base again and then make sure that you go after one of those big names, then I can definitely see how that could make sense. All of that being said, though, I still think that the best and simplest option is just to keep Guerrero at first base and fill that position in another way. Or Elvis Martinez, for instance, is obviously suspended right now, but in the future, I could definitely see him manning the hot corner for the Toronto Blue Jays. And if you don't want to solve the problem internally, then okay, fine, just go out and get Alex Bregman. He's a quality player, and you know exactly what you're going to get from him day in and day out. Ultimately, I do like that the Toronto Blue Jays are already starting to think of how they're going to fill that third base bag, because I think that we can all agree it does need to be addressed. But folks, let me know what you think about all this in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, go Jays, go.